Thanks for tuning into Stocks with Antonio. For those of you that have been watching my videos, sorry I don't have my normal background, so you see a little bit of my office. But what a day in the market, right? A lot of pullback in some of our favorite stocks. And a lot of people are talking about Micron. Micron keeps going up, right? Had crazy good earnings, and that was expected. That's why the stocks run up so much. And after earnings, you see it moving higher. But as you can see, some other companies are not going up right now, and they're pulling back, and investors are concerned. They're asking questions, and they want to know what's going on. Well, if you recall, if you've been in the market, anytime we've been having pullbacks with the current president, they actually been buying opportunities. Now, I can't say that history is going to repeat itself, right? But in my opinion, I think this pullback that we're experiencing is a buying opportunity. If you look back in history, when you get a new Fed chair in a midterm year, you tend to have pullbacks. And we just got a new Fed chair. We are in a midterm year. We're getting closer to midterms. And I see this, and we just had a massive run up. So we're due for a pullback. Now, I know there's also some fears that there may be rate hikes, and there's rumors, and we'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think we're going to get rate hikes, especially on a midterm year, but we don't know yet. We'll have to pay attention to that. But even if we did, some stocks will do well when there's rate hikes, right? So you might want to look at, instead of tech stocks, you might want to look at other options. Right now, a stock that's not doing bad is Chase Bank. And I wanted to read a little bit about some recent news on it with JP Morgan. And they just announced a 10% dividend increase. The bank raises quarterly dividends to $1.65 per share, right? And they did a $50 billion share buyback. That shows confidence. And their Q2 earnings, which is coming up next month, July 14th, we'll have to see how they're doing. But in my opinion, if they just came out with these announcements, those Q2 earnings are going to be pretty good. So this is definitely a stock that you want to watch and see, pay close attention to, see those Q2 earnings. But this is one I'm interested in. I actually played a call on it, and I believe there could be more upside on this one. So this one I'm keeping on my radar for some more shorts. But if you've been following me, if you've been watching my videos, you've been seeing that I've been saying, if you're up on some of your short plays, go ahead and take profit for opportunities, right? Because the people that are really happy right now with the run up with Micron are the ones that saw opportunity in that company and bought early on. Now it's run up. Every YouTuber's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Now everybody knows about it. When it was under $300 a share, you probably didn't hear too much about it. Now everyone's saying it's the next NVIDIA, right? They're all hyping it up. Now people are wanting to buy it at $1,200 a share. But the ones that really have fat portfolios now are the ones that bought a lot of shares, build out their position when it was under under $1,000, under 500, under 300, when the shares were less. And they built out their position size. They saw opportunity when other people weren't looking, and now they're reaping the benefits. And with that said, that's what you got to look for. Where's their opportunity? I think in some of the Max 7, great opportunity. You see Amazon pulling back. You see Microsoft pulling back. You see Meta pulling back, right? And one thing that helps me when I started investing long term, because I started investing long term over 10 years ago, when I didn't know anything about the stock market, and you can see how stocks are going up and down, going up and down, and especially for new investors, you may panic because that's your money that you see going up and down, and you work hard for your money, right? So nobody likes seeing their portfolio going down. Nobody likes to see red. So one thing that eased my mind is when I found great companies, right? When I found good assets to invest in, I would go, if you have internet, you can go on Google, Yahoo Finance, and you can see charts on there. And you can put the ticker symbol of your favorite company. And most likely when you see that chart, it's going to look like a mountain. You're going to see it going up and down, going up and down. And some of the stocks I just mentioned, Amazon, Meta, right? Microsoft, go ahead and even test this out. You'll see that these stocks have their ups and they have their pullbacks. And every time they recovered from those lows, went to new highs, and they did that over time. So one thing I want to do is when these companies pull back, that's when I want to buy. I want to buy when people are running away from these stocks because I believe these companies are not going anywhere. I believe they're investing in the future. I believe AI is our future. Now, some of you may disagree, and that's okay. You can leave it down in the comments below. People tend, and I hate to say it, they tend to be negative, right? So they're thinking, oh, this is the bubble that like the .com back in 2000. All this is, it's too high, it's too high. The stock market, they've always been saying it's too high, right? Even before COVID came, they were saying real estate's too high. And then what happened with real estate? I know it's flat right now, but prices have maintained their highs and they went higher from a few years back. With that said, the market's having a pullback. It's just going to be an opportunity. 10 years from now, those same people that said, hey, I'm not going to buy Microsoft or Meta or Amazon, they're going to see these companies are still going to be around and they're going to be a lot higher. And the people that took risk and bought in on the dips, their portfolios are really going to grow. And that's what it's all about. Now, I do want to make it clear, right? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you when to buy, hold, or sell, but right now in these pullbacks, I'm buying shares in these companies. I'm buying shares in Amazon. I'm buying shares in uh, Meta and Microsoft. If you do research on these companies, if you would have invested in these companies when they IPO'd, some of you would have been billionaires if you bought it and never sold. And that's amazing. So I see these as opportunities on these pullbacks. I believe these companies are going to recover. Q2 earnings are coming up. We want to pay close attention to them. Now, I will say because these large companies are investing so heavily into AI, they may not run up like you see at Micron doing right now. They may take a little bit of a longer time. They may pull back even more, but that's going to be a buying opportunity for long-term investors that are patient. I feel they're going to really help grow your portfolio. So that's what I'm doing. I keep talking about these because I see great opportunity. I don't expect them to run up tomorrow. You are going to have to be patient, but I see these as great opportunities for long-term investors, and that's why I'm talking about them so much. Now, I know some of you that are watching these videos may be more interested in the short term, and I do both, right? But this video is more about long-term opportunity. You can still play the stock market short term, but I always recommend also having a long-term plan. I do both. I do long-term and I do short-term. Today, like I said, I took some plays short term, made a little bit of money. Sometimes it's just I might go in the morning, I might just make 20 bucks, right? Some days I have larger wins, but anytime I have a win, what I do is I take some of that win and I put it into my long-term plays to continue increasing the position size because those are the ones that are really going to build me wealth, right? So I like to say that a lot because a lot of people want money now, and in building wealth, you got to be patient and you just got to make sure you're consistent with it, right? Make sure you're continuing to grow your long-term portfolios, that you're adding to it. That's the most important thing that a lot of people get away from. They don't focus on adding consistently to their long-term portfolio. And if you're not growing your share counts into great assets, it's going to be really hard to build wealth. So make sure that you're adding to your that you're adding into your brokerages, that you're adding funds into it, and that on a regular basis you're buying. At least that's my opinion. Again, I can't tell you what to do, but if you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, smash the like button. Also, if you want to stay up to date on what I'm doing with my portfolio, how I'm seeing these markets, make sure you subscribe. And I am working on a Discord for like-minded people where we're going to be talking about stocks, where we see opportunities and things like that. So if that catches your interest, stay tuned. I'm working on it. Soon that link will be coming up on future videos. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned because that is coming. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.